Well, what is going on, football fans? It is your boy Mark here from Marky Sports. There are several players that are consistently, depending on all the people that you listen to that are at the Senior Bowl, all of the scouts and the analysts that are talking about a very specific set group of people. The names of a lot of different players continuously keep coming up, and one of those is Brashard Smith, the running back out of SMU. Looked into this guy, a fascinating player, really, really interesting career. And I think he's going to be rising up draft boards quite a bit. Could potentially be a day two pick, but he's going to be a day two or an early day three pick, and someone that I think is very interesting, especially for a team looking for a back that can kind of bring a lot of really unique skill sets that not a lot of others can. So before we get into it, guys, hit that subscribe button. I guess there's a thing called the YouTube algorithm, and if you like the video, it'll help me out. So there's a little thumbs up there. Give it a smash, and we'll see if it actually does anything. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into our guy, Brashard Smith. Now, first of all, what we're going to start with is we're going to have a little bit about his, some PFF grades, look into who he is a little bit, right? So give you guys some background. So there could be some context here. He played for SMU last year. He's 5'10", 196 pounds. Now at the Senior Bowl, right? At the Senior Bowl, he actually measured in right around close to that. Right here, 5'9" and some change, 195 pounds. Sorry, it's not letting me highlight. But you'll see them Southern Methodist, Brashard White, 195 pounds, 8 3/4 inch hands. He's got baby hands, not very long arms, and his reach is whatever. Not really too concerned about those. So 5'9", 195 is right about what he is at the running back position. Now, size-wise, yes, it's probably a little bit smaller than you would ideally like to see. But I like guys that are 5'9". The guys that are a little bit shorter, not just because I'm 5'9", but just because I think it's one of those. It's nice to have a back. You typically have better contact balance. They're a little bit lower to the ground. They can use their leverage to their advantage, and that's something that you see here. And really impressive in the sense of his offensive grade overall as a running back was 13th in the entire country out of 444 backs. His run grade was really solid. He's 36th. And look at that. His receiving grade is a 90.6. And that's really what opened up my eyes, because I think backs that can come out of college with a natural ability to be able to catch the ball are among the favorites of a lot of teams, because there's so much that you can do with them, and you can develop them as pass blockers. You can make them stronger and better runners, in a multitude of ways. But teaching somebody to be a natural pass catcher is never that easy. And he's definitely got tools to be able to do that. So before he got here to SMU, he spent his first few years, let me pull that up for y'all. He spent his first few years actually in with the Miami Hurricanes, and he was really a kind of a gadget player. Right? Sorry, my dog's on me here. He's a little bit more of a gadget player in a sense of, let me pull this up. Share this tab instead. All right. And if it's your first time on the channel, guys, I don't do anything scripted, and I don't edit my videos, so you might have to bear with me a little bit. It's gonna basically be like a live, because that's just how I roll, man. But yeah, so he spent his first 3 years in Miami, played quite a bit of snaps, but he was really more of a receiver there. He didn't really run the ball too much while he was with the Hurricanes. In fact, if you pull up his rushing stats, you'll be able to see, he really had 9 attempts this year, 132 yards in 2013, 5 attempts in 2022, and 6 attempts in 2021. So I don't know if he transferred over to SMU because he just wanted to be a running back, or what exactly happened. I'll certainly look into that. But if you look at him as a receiver, he had 22 catches, 32 catches, and it's what seems like a slot receiver. So that's exactly what he was. He was a guy that played strictly a slot receiver. And so he's a natural receiver that is extremely raw as a running back. But as you'll see with a lot of these different videos that we got and some of the film we're going to break down, he's actually really, really impressive. So let's start it off with a video here. This is, I don't even know what this one is because I got a bunch. So I'm going to let it roll and then we'll talk about it. Oh yeah, what better way to start than with a deep bomb? This is not a play that you typically see a running back make. I mean, it's impressive. Ball's up in the air. He's adjusting to it naturally, catching it. So you can obviously see he's clearly a receiver that is converted over to running back, and He's got decent enough size to be running back. He's got a decent amount of physicality to his game, but you can see where he's raw in some areas. So I think scouts are going to look at him like he's this piece of clay that is just going to be moldable into whatever it is that they want. Sorry about the first couple ones. These ones were not on the all 22 film because they didn't have them for specific games. So I took these off some highlight videos, but we'll get to the other ones. I love this play. And I actually chose this one because look at the linebacker at the end. They're going to show a slow. Oh, that was on a different one. I'm going to go ahead and run that back. There's another one where you'll see he actually runs through a linebacker, makes him a little bit woozy. But this is just showing a little bit of power. Running through the safety, putting him on his ass there, right into the end zone. You definitely got to love that. And then switching over here, I like to start off with some goal line because we know just based off his size and the fact that he's a receiver that he's somebody that's got all these kinds of capabilities, and I want you to be able to see it. So just natural. There's not much that you have to be taught here. You can move him all around the formation, and he's going to be making plays like this. And what I really like about that is it's just effortless. It's smooth. It's easy, just like the previous catch, and just like I believe this next one is. Where if you notice, actually, no, this is not it. This is the home run ball. This one you gotta love. So we're gonna let this top end speed is elite. He's somebody that gets the top speed quick, but then kind of starts to slow down. But you gotta love this. Look at this vision. Bounce it back. Very, very patient. Let's run that back a little bit because I love the patience that he has. He doesn't seem to be rushing anything. He's patient. Boom, hits the hole, foot in the ground, and he's gonzo. Takes the angle. He's gonna take it all the way to the house. So he has that ability to when he breaks, not many people are going to catch him. Really good contact balance, as you'll see on a couple of these clips. His lateral quickness is solid. It's not elite, but it's really, really good. But his vision is surprisingly super good for somebody that has played the running back position, really for just a season in college. So a lot to love when it comes to that. Let's go ahead and start. This is the one I was talking about earlier. Cuts it back, lowers the shoulder. By the way, guys, this Duke player, number 12, that you'll see that's a little dizzy, he's a 6'1", 235-pound linebacker. And Brashard Smith just put his shoulder down and ran right into him. Look at him. He can barely even get up. He's all woozy. So let's run that back again because you got to love that. And what I also love is look at the cutback and upfield. Bam. Way to finish. So for somebody, I always feel like when you're looking at running backs that are smaller, more quick guys, home run, typically more third down backs in the NFL that you would think of. I love to see what are they like in third and in short yardage. Do they run more powerful than their their measurables show? And I think you see a lot of that with Brashard Smith. So definitely some things to really like there in terms of his physicality. Switching over to this one, let's go ahead and let it run. Oh yeah, I love this one. And this one looks even more sweet from the tight because you will see a guy get nice and skinny through the hole. You love it when these small guys can run up the A or the B gap, bang, get skinny there, contact balance amazing with the spin move, switches hands to the outer hand near the sideline, and it takes off and breaks it. So really, really good contact balance. As you can see, right when he breaks in through this hole, watch him get real skinny there. Takes a hit, takes another hit, does a spin, and keeps his balance, and he's gone. So really, really good tools there that you love to see. And this one I love because they line them up out wide like a wide receiver. And y'all got to see the catch that he makes. Helmet falls off, and he's all fired up. So they kick him out all the way. He's one-on-one with a corner. All right. And he ran a double move, by the way. Throw the ball up, go up there and get it as natural as it gets. I mean, it is evident when you see every single one of his receptions. It is effortless. It's so natural, and it's crazy because anytime scouts used to say that, like you can see how natural a pass catcher he is. And I think like, how do you look like a natural pass catcher? I totally get it now. It's the body adjustments. It's just everything looks smooth. There's nothing that looks awkward. And he brings the ball in right away. So even though he's got these little baby hands, he's out there making plays, man. You got to love it. This one was a little bit, I'd say it's a little bit of concern. We'll go ahead. I don't know what that effort was. And maybe I'll look into this a little bit too much, but I don't know what this effort was here in pass pro. Because it's not so much that he didn't really get anything on him. He looked like he didn't want to be there. Now, he rated out fairly decent as a pass blocker in quite a bit of um, categories. But yeah, man, I mean, let's face it. This ain't gonna cut it. This is gonna be some things that, teams do not want to see on film. But guys, listen, he's a slot receiver by trade. He's not somebody that's used to, taking on blitzers very often, and he doesn't have the frame to do it. So I didn't really have a lot of other clips from him pass blocking. Like I said, it's not the worst at it in terms of his rating, but those are some things that they can coach up in the NFL with a little bit of time. We already saw this one. My bad about that one, guys. Let me go ahead and just remove a couple of these because there's a couple more that I wanted to add here to be able to show y'all. No, totally just did it again. Sweet. Good job. Good job, Mark. There you go. That's how we roll. Let's see. Yeah. That's what I love because of the vision, right? First of all, you're just inside the red zone. You're gonna see him. He's not scared to run up the middle, which is good. He looks, he cuts back, he sees that the blocker's gonna have good inside leverage. He's gonna cut right into there. Boom. A little bit delayed on that, but nonetheless makes the move, hits the hole. His first two steps, his burst to get to top speed is actually really impressive. I think he's going to be somebody at the combine that probably runs a 4.4. And it might be disappointing for someone like him because he's known as that long home run hitter, but his 10-yard split is going to be outstanding. That's just kind of what it is that he does. And then I got one last one for you guys before we kind of wrap up, and I'll give you guys my thoughts. This is where the slot receiver in him came out. Improvise with the quarterback, catch the ball, break some tackles, and finish at the goal line. Run that back again. You can see the quarterback's going to get flushed out of the pocket. He's right there in the middle, right next to the ref. He turns around. He moves with his quarterback, natural as all can be, catches the ball, stiff little mini stiff arm, grabs some guys and goes. So you see the receiving traits. It is about as clear as day when it comes to somebody like Brashard Smith. And he's been, by all accounts, you listen to some of the local guys here in Denver, like Cecil Lammy and Andrew Mason. You go to the PFF guys, Trevor Sikema and Connor and those guys, and then you talk to you look at a few other go on YouTube videos. Consistently, every single person, they're all saying that Brashard Smith is having a hell of a he really stood out on the first day of practices in the Senior Bowl, and that's always really important. Obviously, you want to be able to stack days, but when you've got a guy that's consistently coming up in the reports of multiple people, it's gonna perk your ears up. So I went in, looked into him a little bit more, pulled up some of that film, and I was really really impressed. I think he's a very good football player. I think he's somebody that he'll certainly start his career as a premier special teamer. As you see it on a lot of the scouting reports, he's very, very good in teams, um, which is going to be awesome for a lot of teams there. And he's going to be a really good third down back, a great change of pace back that can, I think, with maybe a year or two of seasoning, getting stronger, getting more used to the position. I think that he can make a huge impact as not a workhorse, but more of a full time type of a running back that's got multiple roles. His ability to run the football, he's got really good vision to break it outside and run up the middle is really impressive. Good overall lateral quickness as well as home run speed. But the versatility that he brings, being able to run him out of so many different routes, out of the backfield, out of the slot, out wide, jet sweeps, all of that is really one of those traits that I feel like coaches are going to fall in love with. And if you look at this draft has got, it's got Ashton Genty, consensus number one. Omarion Hampton seems to kind of be that consensus number two. And then everything after that, it's kind of a bunch of guys that are either, power backs that are just physical, wear you down, 230-pound backs. And then there's a mix of a lot of those guys that are, smaller and a little bit more quick change of pace backs, that can take it, a home run. There's not really a mix of guys that are, super well rounded. Like Travion Henderson, for example, is an extremely well rounded back, one of my favorite guys. He fits into those mold of the smaller change of pace backs, but he's very elite at those at what he does. I really would not be surprised if he snuck into the second day of the draft in rounds 2 or 3. But I think he's a fourth or fifth round pick at the most. And just because he's very raw, he's like I said, just like a piece of clay that I think a lot of teams are really going to love and covet with him. The fact that he's inexperienced, I feel like the NFL teams look at that as a big positive. So, big fan of Brashard White for my Broncos. I think he would fit. It's not exactly, I would say, what it is that we're looking for if you want more of an instant impact right away guy. But he's somebody that is really intriguing, can bring a lot of juice to this team. And I love it. But I want to know what you guys think below. Let me know your thoughts about Brashard White, uh, running back, SMU. That's all I got for today, guys. Y'all make sure to spend time with those that you love the most. If you love NFL draft, if you love Broncos sports, consider hitting that subscribe button below. And I got a lot of more film reviews coming. Check out the channel. I got a lot of really good ones that we've already done. LaQuint Allen, one of my favorite running backs, Trevion Henderson, Harold Fannin Jr. We've got a lot more to cook. So if there's anybody specifically you want to see, let me know below. And, stay up, guys. I appreciate y'all. Have a wonderful day and peace out.